Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Enough channel. In this video we're going to review round 17 of the 2025 NRL Supercoach season. And what ended up being a pretty good week for myself. Could have been a little bit better, but I'll take a 1347, which was top 8% for the round, and did see us move up almost 3,000 spots, but we are inside the top 30k, so moving on up, which is what we want to see. So let's have a look at the team and how it went this week. So a few head-to-head wins. Not sure how long it's been open for, but this is the first time I've looked at it since it's locked out, clearly from the confetti. But at hooker, we had Wade Egan with the 53 and Kurt Donahue with the 77. So I ended up shifting out to the 5'8" position with Cody Nikorima unfortunately going down injured, but then happened to jag an intercept try. So he's in a bit of try scoring form, which is great to see from the great man. And just noticed as well, he's got his second row dual status. So I think he's one we're going to hold till the end of the season, use him and Connor Watson as like a third hooker, fifth, second row type option. In the front row, we had Terrell May with his usual 76. Unfortunately, captaining Payne Haas didn't quite work yet. Only a 45. I didn't see the game to sort of see where it all went wrong. But yeah, particularly when you see some of the other potential captaincy scores, going the quote-unquote safe route was not the way to go this week. In the second row, we had Kyle Matangi, who was a bit flat with a 45. I did notice he missed out on the Origin squad. So I don't know if it was off the back of that performance the other night, but well, he'll be a useful number for us this week. We traded in Jacob Preston, and he returned the faith with a 90-point return thanks to a try in what was a hard game for attacking points there against Penrith. Eli Katoa was amazing yesterday afternoon, just putting on tries, scoring tries himself. You know, just gets up under the high ball. It was great to see. So 110 from him was fantastic. Bo Fermor with a 94. Sorry, scored a nice try with a line break and all that sort of stuff. Tino with the 57. So if you don't have him, he's going to be good value post Origin. But I think we just have to ride it out for the time being. Jerome Hughes, I guess him and Eli Katoa are working together. So 113 for him was fantastic. King Togia, 68 was pretty good, making some good cash and will be a very vital number this week. Luke Metcalf, so sounds like he could be out for the season with the ACL injury. Haven't followed up this morning on any news around that, but I guess he is probably a trade out this week, so we'll try and find another 5'8" halfback option for this week. Jaden Campbell obviously missed through concussion. He'll be back after the bye. Herbie Farnworth, an 86, so continues to score well. Jacob Kiro's 56 points was okay, and again, a tough attacking game, but has been called up to Origin, and the Bulldogs and the 18th man stitched up again. We've got Birdo, but I guess it's probably one of those cases where you'd almost prefer Burton being there because of Lockie Galvin being in the team. Zach Lomax with an 88 was good. Dylan Lucas with 59 was solid. And Karapani with the 71 was super helpful. Lawson, so that he was a late in. We weren't expecting him to play. Got 2 tries, so squeaked out a 51-point return. But I think he did an injury as well. So I think the move to trade him is still on. He has made us an extra bit of cash, so another 15k we weren't expecting. So we will gladly take that. And at the back, we had Pappy with a 48. Guess just wasn't that heavily involved in the try scoring, but Scott Drinkwater was a very popular captain. And well done to those who did get on. 134. I think he scored like 2 tries, and there would have been try assists and all that in there. It was pretty good if you captained him. I was just glad to have him in the team. So in terms of the matchups this week, ended up with a couple of wins. It wasn't looking too likely early, but I'll take it. So Team Rob with the 1265 this week. So he had Ruben Garrick with the 93, DC and Tommy Turbo 70s, which is pretty decent. Zach Hosking with the 106 was really good. But I think that's about it. So no drink water. So there's a few points there. I'm just trying to work out how I got up over the line. I guess a couple of 80s from Lomax and Farnworth probably weren't quite matched up. Captain Kyle Matungi as well. So that was the same as Payne Haas, so no advantage there. But elsewhere in the league, I'm sure there's some good scores. A 14-41, that will be hard to beat. So cut out past the daily. I think I played Tony last week, so managed to get it right in terms of the draw. But he captained Farnworth, had Hammer for 129. Very Dolphins heavy. Unfortunately, has Nicarima, which is going to be a forced trade with his hamstring injury. Harris Tavita could be useful given Metcalf is out, but had Hughes, Katawa go big. So, yes, and had Shibasaki with a 116. So, some big scores there. Well done, Tony. In the second league, so got a win over the cheap hookers. Matt's team. Oh, hang on, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Go where I want to go. So an 11.52 had Garrick, which was good. Captain Pappy. So I guess another one who missed out in the captaincy stakes. And just a lot of 50s from Kiraz. Had King Toggy, which is okay, but Fennell Blake, Nicara, Brayley. So I guess they've been scoring better in previous weeks. Just wasn't meant to be this week. But having a look, got a 1461, 1475, 1467. So a few monster scores in the second league. But Lockie's team, best games, it's got the money there. So let's have a look. He had Preston, Shibasaki, um, Isaiah Katoa with a 111 is fantastic. Captain Drinkwater as well. So that was probably the key to a monster. So I just noticed show up 1408 and got beaten. It's a bit stiff there, mate. But we'll move on. Third league. So 1404. So Louis Legends got me. So Garrick, Captain Drinkwater was probably the difference maker there in the end. Yeah, just look at the difference in score. It's like a 100-point turnaround with the captains. But yeah, had a lot of players the same, which was nice. But I can see Team Gibbons got a 14-29, which looks like the top score in the third league. So Paul's team, another one who captained Drinkwater. Ellie Katoa in the team. Had Bo Fermor, Isaiah Katoa, Ruben Garrick. Iangi with 86 was pretty decent return as well. So some good stuff there, Paul. Let's see if there's anyone else in the Open League who scored up around the higher 1400s. So 1447, 1467 for Royals Disciples, 1443. Getting there. 1445 for Peter's mum is jealous. Nice work there, Travis. I think the disciples have got it. So if I can find them again. Gone straight past him. There it is, 1467, Matt's team. So who did we have? We had Gary Hosking went well. Val Holmes with a 117 and didn't captain him, so bold move there, but Captain Drinky paid off and had Hughes, Katoa, Farnworth as well go big. So good stuff there, Matt. So we'll have a quick look at some other big scorers from the week. So I think again, featuring pretty highly, Tallis Duncan. So his price has exploded in the last few weeks. If we have a look at the stats. So yeah, it was a few weeks ago he was sitting at 380k, and then just went bang, 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 couple of big tons against the Dogs and then the Dolphins. So I'm pretty sure that's when I brought him into my fantasy team. Obviously, this isn't the fantasy video, but I've had a piece of him there, so I'm pretty happy with that return. And well done to the 4.5% that are on in Supercoach. A few names we've already seen. Shibasaki was a bit surprising. James Schiller with a 109 was nice for him. Phil Samia 109 was handy. Return there. KO Weeks with a 109 was good. Jack Whiten playing a bit of 5/8 with Cody Walker missing again, going down with another hamstring injury. Tuolangi with a 97's okay. Dylan Edwards sort of pot at the fullback position, but good return if you add him. Connor Tracy, I guess not necessarily getting super coach points for it, but geez, a couple of those cover tackles he just threw the kitchen sink at the Penrith attack, and I've never seen him defend so well. It was probably his best game I've seen. Big up to Connor Tracy for that effort on Thursday night. Um, I guess also looking at break evens, so we'll probably preview this more in the future. But Karapani only scored a 71, so he's jumped up 126k in 1 week. Negative 28 break even, does play this week, so it's probably not too late to get on, given that he could potentially still squeak out another 150 or so k. I think Jed Stewart will be the cheapie of the week. Obviously, 40s isn't fantastic, but bottom dollar, and in a pretty strong attacking team, can always find the way to the try line. So Cody Walker, unlucky if you brought him in. I know one of my mates was bringing in Cody Walker as a cheap sort of pod option. Looks like he's going to miss some time with the hamstring, so that's unfortunate. Fichetti should be in line for another big game this week, given the likes of Crichton, Watson will be on Origin duty. Um, Elsewhere, Talon De Silva will be an interesting one. Bottomed out in price, and then having moved to Parramatta. I'm not sure if Para on the bye this week or not. Is there a Para player here? Yeah, so on the bye this week, so he will get a week to train, but could be very interesting in week 19 if you're struggling to upgrade your hookers. And I think that's about it. All right, so after a quick change of scenery and a bit of video editing magic, we'll have a look at the sort of setup for round 18, see how we're going. So, a couple of injuries, couple of surprise origin selections aren't very helpful, but so we don't have a hooker this week currently. Got two front rowers. We may get Pasifiki Tonga. Although Couchman's been playing more on the edge, so I don't know if they'll find a more like for like replacement for him. So we do have full second row with Savala on the bench. So what have we currently got? 7, 8, 9. Although I might just swing King Togia into the 5/8 position for now. So I've lost count already. 9. So we don't have Kiraz either. So it's pretty much just going to be straight swaps all around. Billy Smith in, and we will probably trade him out, but Lawson can go in, and we'll just plug Teddy on the bench. So actually, we might make it less confusing by putting Farnworth on field because Kiraz won't be playing. So we've got 3, 6, 8, 12, 15 all going to plan this week. So we don't necessarily have to rush in and trade a Metcalf, for example. We will do the one trade we had planned, which is Lawson out, Jed Stewart in. I forgot. Yeah, Lawson was injured anyway, so that's fine. So, so that does give us 15 on field. So I guess we just need to think about what we're going to do with Metcalf because the plan was, as we said, we had the money to upgrade LKT to Cleary. Actually, should have a look at what Cleary's price ended up at. 745. So so it's only about 360 it's going to cost us. So that's worked out all right. I think LKT's break even of 0. So we'll make more money again this week. So we're definitely getting there. Savala to Watson we don't need to do straight away. There's probably not much point doing the Nuff trade straight away. So I guess we just need to look at some options for Metcalf. So given that Cleary's going to come back, we'll probably need to look at 5/8 directly. Unless we're willing to play King Togia with Campbell in case of emergency, but we do have the money to upgrade. So with the options, we do. Munster's playing Origin, but I guess let's go by average is probably better. So Ezra Mam actually number 1 average. Be interesting to see where he slots into the Queensland squad. If he's named as 18th man, he'll miss this week. But I think against the Bulldogs, it's not going to be the biggest opportunity for him to go big. Plays Talangi's on the bye, didn't plays Origin. So Matt Burton is not named in the squad for Game 3, so he should play on whenever they play on the weekend against the Broncos. I forget the days. But should kick goals as well, so it could be a handy point of difference. Lockie Galvin, so he's just dropping in value. I guess we just got to wait for them to work out how they all fit in the team, I think, before we commit to that. After that, there's not a lot. Maybe Latu Finu, but that's just replacing one cheapie with another, essentially. King Togia to Finu. It's all much the same. Bailey Hayward, although he's not scoring, big averaging 38. If it was a 1 week play, someone like a Wishart this week against who's that? Oh, it says it right here against the Cowboys. You imagine he'll play 6 in place of Munster, but maybe Tamara Martin. But again, that's another cheapy sort of replacement. But he'll probably just slot straight in the 7. And we know that when he has played 7 in the past, he's scored pretty well. So does that give us an opportunity, though, if we do something like a Tamaro Martin? Well, there's no point doing that this week, but that would free up a few $100K in order to potentially then, instead of having to do Billy Smith to a Nuffy, we could look at a legitimate second rower and bring Fermor back. Obviously, we don't have the flexibility potentially, but I think there might be something to that. Because we've got the big ones in Lucas and Fermor. I'm not sure if there's another second row centre wing option that you'd want to flip through. It would just be a bottom dollar Nuffy sort of option. Yeah, so I think we can just sit and wait for a week. Like Yeah, not convinced on. Probably Matt Burton would be the favourite to slot in there, but as I said, just some question marks about how the Bulldogs set up in the future. Surely it won't affect Burton, but you just never know. So I think the play for this week is just to sit. It could be a case of next week. This move actually becomes Metcalf to Cleary, which we could probably work out. What's that? 745 minus 630. Go away. Clear. So it's minus 115. I think if my memory's any good. So what are we up to now? 415. So Savala to Watson. Well, I think Watson scored all right on the weekend, didn't he? So what's he up to? Oh no, wait, they had the bye. That's right. Yeah. So 613. Yeah, so I think about 120 is fair. Savala's got a okayish break even. So I think, yeah, so if we were to do that, so we've already done that trade, bank the 415. So two trades would get us to, what's that, 235, 180. Well, we could potentially, how much is Harry Grant? 594. So what's that, 140k? So we could potentially go Egan to Grant next week in the three upgrades. So how much was that again? I've already forgotten. No good. The memory 595. So we'll just call it 140. So it gives us 40k in the bank, and then what that does is we would actually end up with 7 trades, and pretty sort of stacked squad with the 3 sort of gun hookers if you count Donahue. I think Pasifiki Tonga would be the only sort of cheapie left in the forwards. And we'd still have Billy Smith as a playable option off the bench alongside the 5 sort of guns, or 4 guns, sorry, in Karapani. Smith and Stewart on the bench is all right. So pretty good spot, I think, if we just run with it as is. So I guess then just in terms of the captaincy this week, so the Bulldogs and Broncos play on the Friday night. So I think we've got a VC Presto. Given we don't have any Bronco, we do have Karapani, but I think without Haas and Carrigan, surely the Dogs can get up over the top of them. And then the captaincy, so Teddy against the Tigers is a big option. The Storm and Cowboys play each other. So I think, potentially cancel each other out in that sense. I'd back Pappenhausen in over Drinky. Manly and South, so perhaps Kalamatangi is that safer option, or Terrell May as a safe option, but I guess the safe option didn't work last week. So, 2 p.m. on a Sunday Arvo, I think you're going to go Teddy. So, just double check. So, that's pretty much how we're going to set up this week. So, just again, we've got 3, 7, 9, 12, 15 playing. So, it's best 13. So, if Pasifiki Tonga does play, we're probably not counting on his score. So even without him, we've got 14. So I think we'll just run with that. And we'll do some big trades next week, get into the final team, and we'll go from there. But as always, if you've got any questions, comments, or thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the Supercoach content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.